on tight and race ahead with Cybernet and me, Lucy Longhurst. Light up your PC with Final Fantasy VII, go fishing for a new hobby, and check out the future of games at E3. It's hot, it's Cybernet. It smashed every record when it appeared on the PlayStation, became an instant classic, and is one of the best-looking games of all time. Yes, it's Final Fantasy VII, and it's taking over your PC. As far as conversions go, this one is identical in every way.
Our original game design is the PlayStation game, so our goal was to make an identical version to the PlayStation, which has been a very big challenge with all the 3D polygons moving around the place.
But some conversions can remain too faithful to the original format. Unfortunately, with this game, the PC's extra memory and resolutions haven't been fully utilised, so the graphics aren't as good as they could have been.
We would have liked to do the movies over to get even better quality there, but I think the quality that we got here on this PC version is suitable. For this project, we didn't have time, and we didn't have the access to the original artists who are obviously working on their next projects.
Original artists or not, it still looks amazing, but what about the game itself? You begin your epic adventure controlling the main hero, Cloud, but you quickly pick up other companions as you progress. They become essential to your success, helping you to solve puzzles and defeat the ever-growing number of dangerous enemies. The battle sequences are in real time, so you have to think quickly. Deciding whether to attack an opponent, cast a magic spell, or heal a member of your party will often mean the difference between success or failure. As you and your party become more experienced, their reactions will become faster and their attacks stronger. But don't worry, because you'll be able to cast an array of deadly spells. Collect enough materia, the substance needed for any magical attack, and you'll even be able to summon various powerful creatures to help you. There's also a host of sub-games to keep you interested, from chocobo racing to snowboarding. Add to that an engrossing storyline, stunning FMV sequences, and a perfect learning curve, and you've got one special game. Final Fantasy VII may not stretch your PC's power, but it's still going to be a classic. If you want to find out more about the world around you, but you're a bit too young to leave the comfort of your bedroom to go travelling, My First Amazing World Explorer could be the answer to all your problems. Once you've entered the interactive map, you can begin your voyage of discovery. There are various video clips and animated footage to guide you and tell you everything you need to know about the world, from wildlife to local customs. Just choose your mode of transport and you're off.
Your journey took 10 hours. Your passport has been stamped.
You can even send a postcard from wherever you end up, and it'll be ready and waiting for you when you return home. If you don't feel like journeying over land, why not dive into the depths and discover the mysteries of the seabed? Or you can always blast out of the Earth's atmosphere altogether.
Our world is just one small, round planet, part of a huge universe waiting to be explored.
When you get tired of travelling, there are plenty of other things to try, including a whole bunch of fun games. You can even have a go at hunting for hidden treasure, but be prepared to do a lot of digging. This package should keep most would-be Christopher Columbuses amused, that is, until they're old enough to make the leap into the real world of exploring. Now bait your hook and extend your rod, because we're going fishing. Bassmaster's Classic Tournament Edition lets fans of the fishy sport test their skills and patience without ever having to actually get their feet wet. Obviously, if fishing appeals to you because you're a fan of the great outdoors, this game won't come close to the real thing. But if the skills and technical aspects involved in the sport are what you enjoy, then you might want to give this a try. We'll just have to wait and see if this turns out to be a good catch or something you just want to throw back for someone else. sport that's lining up to take a shot at the PC and the PlayStation is bowling. The makers of Brunswick Circuit Pro Bowling claim that this is the best simulation of the sport yet, and with an official license behind it, we expect great things. There are 13 professional bowlers to choose from, each with their own individual styles and techniques. All you have to do to get the perfect strike is pick the player that suits you, line up your ball and bowl. And when you get it right, you can watch the results over and over again. Coming down from the trees now is Harry, star of Pitfall 3D. If you're not as brave as our hero, then listen up, because we've got some codes to send you to some other worlds. To swing straight into the Magic Garden level, at the options screen choose Password and enter the words Magic Garden. That's MAGICGARDEN. This is a world full of crystal flowers, the inevitable pits, and some very nasty monsters who seem intent on pushing our hero over the edge. Whoa. For even larger bad guys, enter the password Big Worm Guy. That's BIGWORMGUY. Now you'll enter the domain of the lava worm.
5 shots. Make them count.
In this world, you can at last stop running and jumping and try your hand at blasting these fiery creatures from the comfort of your very own dragon-type creature. At the password screen, try Crane's Baby. That's CRANESBABY. This will reveal a secret level containing the original Pitfall game, an absolute must for retro fans. With these codes, you can start Pitfall 3D just as the going gets tough. Off-road racers have never been more popular, and adding to the ever-growing list is the arcade-style Tommy Mackinnon Rally. Like V-Rally, you must race against a number of opponents rather than the clock. But unlike V-Rally, the car is a lot easier to control, and sliding around corners becomes a formality. Unfortunately, the graphics look just as formal, with the scenery and cars all seeming slightly dated. But as with most rally games, at least those dark night races look atmospheric. Whilst the main game is disappointing, the two-player mode is great. The races are all fast, and the tracks seem to be more suited to the frantic split-screen action. It also has the PlayStation's first ever track designer, a handy little tool that adds value and longevity to an otherwise orthodox racing title. Tommy Mackinnon Rally isn't the greatest off-roader we've played, but it certainly has enough depth to keep any hardline racer happy. Interstate 76 was a funky hit on the PC, but now it's arrived on the PlayStation in the form of Vigilante 8, a conversion that looks more like Twisted Metal than its 70s-based predecessor. After choosing from a range of outlandish vehicles, you must charge onto one of several themed levels and battle it out against those other insane drivers. As usual, there are plenty of weapons, power-ups and health packs to help you on your way, including some explosive missiles. Unfortunately, the main game doesn't offer anything we haven't seen before, and the two-player mode soon becomes repetitive. The cars, although well designed, are unresponsive and differ only in speed. That said, the video sequences are great, and some of the special weapons can look highly explosive. But overall, it just doesn't keep you interested, and could never match the insanity of Twisted Metal 2. Okay, time for our competition now, so grab a pen. This week's prize is a special edition Motorhead PlayStation, together with a copy of the game to play on it. So strap on your seatbelt and get ready for the ride of your life. To win this prize, just call our number and give your answer to this question. Which of the following is used for fishing? A, a club, B, a racket, or C, a rod? If you think you know, call 0891 44 44 88. Please dial carefully and don't forget to ask permission from the person who pays the telephone bill first. We'll put up the question and number again at the end of today's show, so get dialing and good luck. Still to come, fasten your seatbelt for a ride through the biggest computer game show in the world.
So, she wants 20 million. The penthouse, the chalet, the cottage and the villa, the silver, the china, and the art. She wants the kids, the horses. As far as your friends go, she wants the Robinsons, the Belfors, the Goldsteins, and the Schmeldrigs. Nice mix.
Oh, but you can have them made. Again.
And, she gets the car.
Twin airbags, ABS, automatic transmission, air conditioning, and a 3-year warranty. The Chrysler Neon, built for the most demanding country in the world.
One day, fighting the appearance of wrinkles is not enough. You want firmer-feeling skin, too. L'Oreal creates Plenitude Revitalift. It's a double-action cream. 1. Revitalift reduces the appearance of wrinkles.
My skin is smoother.
2. Revitalift makes your skin feel firmer, with a real lift effect. Plenitude Revitalift from L'Oreal. Because you're worth it.
Welcome back to part 2 of Cybernet. Prepare yourself, because aliens are taking over the universe, and it's your job to stop them. As with the 3 previous games in this series, XCOM Interceptor takes on the basic form of a strategy game. After choosing the personnel for your army, you must equip them with the latest weaponry, build up their supplies, and make sure they're at their best for the battle ahead. It's your job to protect and mine the mineral sites throughout the universe and stop the aliens from getting there first. This you can do using the campaign strategic display, which will give you an overview of your forces and the solar system around you. The nice surprise about this game is that once you've got the strategic elements sorted, the battles take you into real-time 3D combat simulation, very similar to that in Dark Light Conflict. We've only got time to scratch the surface of this game because it really is epic and very difficult to play. That said, XCOM Interceptor combines 2 game genres brilliantly, and if you can manage to get through the manual, which you'll need to, it's definitely worth it. As video games become more complex and harder to control, there's been a real need to create simple but highly addictive arcade action. Getting the balance right can be tough. Viper has you in control of a jetcopter attempting to infiltrate an alien base here on Earth. Enemy targets are everywhere, so getting sore fingers from constant firing isn't a surprise. Survival means constant recharging of your shield and picking up as many extra weapons as possible. Where the standard formula deviates slightly are the different routes you can take through a level. Turning left might mean ground defenses, while turning right at a junction could mean trouble from the air. Now, the only problem with all this is that over a year ago we saw a preview of Viper that looked very much better. Movement was more pleasing, explosions were more dramatic. We just can't understand where it's all gone. Somehow, the finished game isn't very involving. There's just no real sense of fun or achievement. We'd hoped for more from the creators of Tunnel B1. Maybe they should stay with PCs and forget the PlayStation. If you regularly surf the waves of the World Wide Web, you'll be familiar with plugins. These are extra bits of code that you add to your browser to allow you to view different file formats.
Your turn.
Software company Macromedia's Shockwave website brings together different applications that can be viewed using the Shockwave, Real Player and Flash plugins. These vary from chat rooms to arcade games. Although hardly original, these slightly strange versions of classic games load very fast and show how very little memory old games actually needed. All the games on the site are divided into categories, so you can check out some sports titles or go walk about with Lenny Loosejocks in this miniature adventure game set in the outback of Australia.
You have to click the button to watch the movie.
If you prefer to sit back and be entertained, the Toons section contains some weird and wonderful animations.
Dad, no more! No more!
As well as some internet-only cartoons, you can find some familiar faces like Snoopy and the Peanuts crew. And every office worker's hero, the lovable Dilbert and friends.
This is urgent. Stop what you're doing and work on it right now.
Is it more urgent than what I was doing?
The animations contained on Shockwave show how versatile this software really is. But if you want to create your own, you'll have to invest in some pretty expensive packages. More interactivity can be found in the music section, where virtual drum machines allow you to compose your own tunes using pre-programmed sounds and beats. If you want to see the future of the net without surfing for hours, drop into Shockwave for the best of the rest.
Okay, so it's not the greatest movie in the world.
Espionage, secret missions and infiltration are just some of your expected duties in Commandos Behind Enemy Lines, a new strategy game for part-time soldiers everywhere. You control a unit of individual army types with their own distinctive abilities and skills. Exactly how you utilize your men is vital to your mission's success.
Coming, sir.
For instance, the Marine can scuba dive and carry a water raft, while the sniper can pinpoint and eliminate his targets from a safe distance. The spy, once in possession of an officer's uniform, can walk through a guard's line of vision without threat and is a vital member of your team, especially for the prison breakouts. The graphics are stunning and very detailed. The game also has a split-screen camera, which is useful for giving you an overall view of the enemy's movement. Commandos is tough and quite violent, but it's also one of the most addictive and rewarding games you'll ever play. Taking itself less seriously, but offering just as much action, is the strategy-cum-arcade warzone that is Army Men. Based on the opposing colours of plastic toy soldiers, you control the green figure of Sarge in some explosive missions against the tan forces. Whether you're flaming the enemy or destroying the blue spy for secret information, Army Men is hilarious and riveting. You can take a tank for a spin or call for reinforcements and lead a unit. The controls are simple and quick to learn, allowing the gameplay to emerge quickly. Variety in the game is offered by the different weapons available for turning your foe into a puddle of plastic. Army Men may lack long-term appeal and is frustrating in places, but it's great for a 5-minute blast of fun.
Sarge is dead.
Now here's a look at some of our favourite PlayStation titles from around the world. At 10, dastardly drivers blast each other off the road in Vigilante 8. Everybody's Golf tees off the green at 9. Keeping the cops on the run, Grand Theft Auto has taken the 8th spot without getting the owner's permission. Those muscle-bound heroes battle it out in WCW Nitro at 7. Struggling to hit the back of the net, World League Soccer dribbles into 6. Ridding your PlayStation of the scum of the universe are those men in black, beaming into number 5. Still trying to clean up Raccoon City at 4 are Leon and Claire in Resident Evil 2. Girl power comes to console games with the famous 5 in Spice World. Racing fans go round the bend at 2 with the phenomenal Gran Turismo. And it's FIFA World Cup 98 that scores number 1. Sometimes you have to travel a long way for the biggest stories, and if you were in Atlanta in the United States this year, that story was E3. The Electronic Entertainment Expo is the interactive industry's biggest event. In 3 days, 40,000 people would try to see over 1,000 new games and multimedia packages, and we were doing the same. Outside, it was hot and humid. Inside, it was hot and noisy. Big stands and big lights. This is the place where the hardware manufacturers, developers, and distributors try to impress one another. Out to impress those still not convinced of its software support were Nintendo. Things may have been difficult since the 64-bit console's launch, but titles not from the Japanese giant were now everywhere, including Mortal Kombat 4 and the mysterious Mission Impossible. Nintendo's own Banjo-Kazooie and Conker 64 were nearly complete, but getting the most attention was The Legend of Zelda. The fantasy adventure had been one of the earliest titles developed for the N64. Then again, you should never rush gaming genius.
It was Mr. Miyamoto who wanted to get it right, so he's taken his time to create this game. You're going to see Link age from a young boy to a teenager. You'll see night change into day as you play through the game. So it's just a lot of effects, and it's really starting to take advantage of the full power of the N64.
On an even bigger stand, Sony was showing that the PlayStation's success wasn't slowing down. Tekken 3 was pleasing those who liked things dark and deadly, but it was a little dragon called Spyro who was giving Mario cause for concern.
It was something that people said we wouldn't be able to do. Everyone said they saw Mario 64 and they saw sort of the 3D, beautiful, free-roaming style game that it was, and said, no, at the PlayStation we'll never be able to do that. And we love proving people wrong.
Deciding not to prove the hype, at least on the show floor, was Sega. Among the arcade machines and PCs were many hoping to see the Saturn II, now called Dreamcast, but only a lucky few were allowed to see it in action.
We're going to launch Dreamcast in the US and Canada in fall of '99, so it's too soon to be showing the entire system to the public. Our focus right now is building support among the development and third-party and retail communities so that we can have all those systems in place to build into the launch.
Between the meetings, queues for demonstrations, and trips between E3's giant halls, finding a friendly face helped ease the pressure. That is, until you had to decide where to go next. Winner for the noisiest stand went to Konami. Built like a military compound and guarded just as tightly, this was home to Metal Gear Solid. Nearing completion, it had already been hailed as a classic, and visitors weren't about to disagree. Visitors of a different kind are at the center of the X-Files. Fans of the TV series couldn't wait to see their heroes become interactive, thanks to the involvement of creator Chris Carter.
He was the one who created the story for the interactive piece. He and his writers actually wrote the script, and it was Chris who convinced David and Jillian that they should be in the X-Files game.
We're here to help you.
I don't know that I need any help. Who are you?
Eidos Interactive's own heroine, Lara Croft, was looking to please her fans with the third in the Tomb Raider series. But it was another world and another hero called Cutter Slade, who many thought her match. Outcast from French developers Appeal was showing where the future of PC graphics is heading, and they were curved. Voted best game of the show, Outcast was just one title that proved innovation was still possible in an industry that's taking fewer and fewer chances. E3 lasted 3 days, and for many was just too much. Travelling back to their hotels, tired attendees would be back the next morning to do it all over again. We'll bring you more about the industry's most important and tiring event in other shows. To stay on the cutting edge of computer games entertainment, there's only one place you should visit, and that's Cybernet. Until we meet again, you can chance your luck by entering our competition to win a console. I'll leave you now with a game that took over 100 artists to create, the beautiful epic adventure Final Fantasy VII.